Hi there, Chris Fox here. Still working on this Cummins engine here for Halton County Radial Railway. Last time we showed pulling the pistons, and I just wanted to give you an update. So this is piston number 4. Right, so it came out of this one right here. All right. The problem with this is that we thought we had all good bearings as I went through. Well, let me show you what we found with number 4. Okay, so I've taken the bottom end apart, and bottom end of the crankshaft, or bottom end of the connecting rod, and then you have the cap and the 2 shells of the bearings. Right. So what we found is that the actual bottom of the connecting rod and the cap are fine. They look really good, smooth, no problems. So we don't have a spun bearing, we don't have anything like that. They're nice and smooth, everything is good. But what we do have is, because it has sat for so long without being run, I'm not sure if you can see that. See if I can get a better light. See the pitting in here and here. And you can actually, this side you really can't feel, but this side you can actually feel it. If I dig my nail in, you might be able to hear that. This here, a bit of scoring. And that's the pitting, but if it was supposed to be this, nice and smooth. So we need a set of bearings. See if I can get a better shot of that for you. I'm going to put it in sunlight here, I might be able to see better. Right, it looks like rust, but that's actually the brass coming through, because these are babbited brass bearings, I believe, or copper bearings, sorry. Copper, babbited copper. So the silver is the babbitt, and what looks like rust is copper. That, I believe, is caused because it sat for so long, and the actual acidity in the oil ate the bearing, ate the babbitt. And it sat and sat and sat, and then when you barred it over, which is what I did, I pre-lubed it and barred it over, but it pulled the babbitt. Now I don't show any babbitt on the connecting rod, or this is connecting rod. I don't show any babbitt on the crankshaft. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's this one, and it's all nice here. It looks good. Okay, so if we can turn it, right, it looks really good. And there's nothing on it. It doesn't need to be polished. It's actually in good shape. The bearing just took the wear. So that tells me we got to get new bearings. I'm going to throw in a set of bearings for the connecting rod bearings, and we're going to pull the mains and see how bad they are. We'll pull closer to this end, and the reason why I want to pull closer to this end is because it's the flywheel end. You have slightly more torque, especially when you engage the clutch on it. So I want to see how bad the bearing is there. And if that bearing is good, then we'll pull number 2. And we'll see if number 2 is okay. And if those bearings are good, I'm going to go with it. I could flip it over and do it, but let's just check to see. This is the whole idea of this, is inspection. So let's have a go. All right, so we're going to undo these I've gotten some of them already untightened, but I just wanted to show you how this goes. So I use the torque multiplier, put it on there, and then they undo like that. Okay, the lock plate off. All right, and now we'll lower the bearing down. All right, so that's it cleaned up, and it's the shell and the cap. Cap looks good. There's no machining marks on here are nice. There's no spun bearing that I can see in here. Nothing fresh anyways, so that's good. Put that over there. But the shell, okay, so if you look at it, it says right there, Cummins, and you got the number 4386. It's a lower one, it's a standard bearing, and it was put in, or this was manufactured in February of 2002. Cool. So we know the engine was at least apart in 2002. But the thing that bothers me is there's a bunch of score marks on it. See them right there. Same type of deal that was on the other bearing. Right. The other thing that I don't like is, I don't know if you can see right at the bottom here, you can see a burn mark or a burnish mark. And if you look and you get it in the right light, it's blue. So it's been hot. It means it's lack of lubrication. You can see the run mark through there. And actually, it's supposed to look like this. Even that's got a little bit of scoring on it, but it's supposed to look like this. A little bit of wear, but not much. But that's bad. That means all of them. I gotta do a bearing swap on this engine. Change the bearing out. Now, from what I have done a bit of research, these are the wrong bearings for this, or for this engine. Yes, it's an NH. Yes, they will fit, but this is an NHRS, not an NH or an NHR. So NH and NHR allows the top bearing to have a groove in it, and that groove is about as wide as that mark right there, all the way around the top. Well, it shows in the parts book that I have over there that it has a groove around the bottom too. It's asking for it. So we got to find bearings. So I have two books. I got a Cummins parts book and I got a shop manual. This book is from 1951. And this book is from 1959, and the engine is in 1954. So this is how I found out that the bearings had grooves all the way around. So if you look here, they show the bottom bearings and they show the top bearings. That's fine and dandy. But when you come over to the parts list here, and you look at this part here, which is BM 17799, and you go to look it up, it's a strip non continuous groove, which is exactly what you can get right now. You can go online, you can buy them, it's not a big deal. You come over here, and that's an NH engine, an NHS engine, and an NHRS, right? So you look here, they only for the NH and the NHR, or the NHS, sorry. Right? NHRS, which is our engine, doesn't have that. So you come down farther and you find this one, BM 17800 strip continuous groove, and you can use them on all three engines. It's going to be a bit to find that bearing, because that bearing you can't get. You can only get this one, and I think that's the reason why they just went with the upper and lower like that. But it shows, it's going to show it runs hot. Anyway, let's see what we can find.